Namaskar, everyone.
Namaskar.
Thank you so much. It's a huge honor for me to be over here and to present our work for you. And first and foremost, I'd like to thank the Leela Palace, Leela Hotels and Resorts for constantly supporting my career and for putting this whole thing together. Thank you so much. We're not only doing this over here, but we're also going to be doing this in Delhi and in Bangalore. So very grateful for all that you do for us and all that you do for art in general in India. A big round of applause to the Leela Hotels. Come on, you can do better than that. A big round of applause. And of course, I'd like to also thank Neeraj. Where is Neeraj? Neeraj. Thank you, Neeraj, for all that you do. Big round of applause for Neeraj. Okay, now I'll talk a little bit about this anthem. Few of you may have been here last year when we had introduced the anthem that I created for last year. Who was here last year? Okay, few of you were last year. Thank you so much for coming back again. So I'm just going to give a little bit of an introduction and how and why we've actually done this. Now, last year I had created a version of the national anthem where I had conducted a 100-piece Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, that is a 100-piece British orchestra, performing the Indian national anthem. Now, this was very important for me simply because I've always wanted to record the Indian national anthem with a symphony orchestra. Now, I've worked with symphony orchestras all over the world, and every time I see a symphony orchestra, the one thing that comes to my mind is unity and diversity. Simply because a symphony orchestra has got various instruments. A symphony orchestra has got violins, which is a soft instrument. It's got a timpani, which is a loud instrument. It has got a harp, which is a soft instrument, a bassoon, which is a loud instrument. Now, every instrument has got its own unique identity. And every instrument is not trying to be another instrument. A violin is not trying to be a bassoon is not trying to be a harp is not trying to be a timpani. Every instrument is maintaining their own unique identity. They're not trying to take away somebody else's identity. But at the same time, when the entire orchestra comes together, the orchestra plays beautifully in harmony together and they sound beautiful as one. And that is basically philosophically what India is all about. People from different cultures, from diverse cultures, diverse languages, different culinary tastes, different religions, different political ideologies, everybody maintaining their own unique personality, but somehow the country works as one and it works beautifully as one, unity and diversity. So that's the reason why I wanted to record the Indian national anthem with a symphony orchestra, and I did that last year with the 100-piece orchestra. Now, I thought that this was going to be the penultimate version of the national anthem because I've created many versions even before that. I thought this is going to be my biggest version and my best version of the national anthem. And I thought I'm not going to create more versions after this because I'm not going to be able to better this. But then, after listening to that version of the national anthem for many months, and I'm still very proud of it, I felt that philosophically, I've gotten what India stands for in that particular anthem, but not sonically. I felt that the sound also had to be very Indian in nature. So that is when I decided that let's get the best and the most renowned, the most critically acclaimed, and the legendary classical musicians to actually perform the Indian national anthem on top of the British orchestra. So what we did is that I pursued all of these amazing classical musicians. I got in touch with Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasia. He agreed. It's amazing just to be in the same room with him, in his presence. It was absolutely amazing. Then got Rakesh Chaurasia, who just won 2 Grammy Awards this year. Then we got Rahul Sharma, virtuoso santoor player. We got Aman and Ayan, absolutely amazing sarod players. Then we got Jayanti Kumaresh, a veena player. Then Sheikh Mehboob, Mr. and Mrs. Sheikh Mehboob, that is the duo which play the Nadaswaram and are pretty much the flag bearers of the Nadaswaram. In fact, they won the Padma Shri Award for it. And also Giridhar Udupa, one of the greatest Khatam players of our generation. Got all of them together. Now, the next piece of the puzzle was that there is this institute in India, in Bhubaneswar. It is called Kalinga Institute of Social Sciences. Now, Kalinga Institute of Social Sciences is easily the most inspiring institute, educational institute, university that you will ever see anywhere in the world. Now, I had visited the Kalinga Institute of Social Sciences multiple times. In fact, I was very, very fortunate to get an honorary doctorate from the Kalinga Institute of Social Sciences. And the beauty of the Kalinga Institute of Social Sciences and why they are world renowned is that they educate, board, lodge, feed, completely free of cost, 40,000 tribal students at any given point of time. 40,000 tribal students are being educated, board, lodge, basically completely 360-degree taken care of by this institute. And what makes it even more special is that they've got 40,000 students who are in their alumni. So they've impacted the lives of over 80,000 students, 80,000 tribal people. They have impacted their lives and they do it so beautifully. The education is absolutely amazing. The food is very amazing over there. The way that they make it, everything is done in such a large scale. So I had a conversation with the Kalinga Institute of Social Sciences with their founder, that is Dr. Achyuta Samant. And I spoke to him about this particular anthem. And I told him that why don't I give a music lesson to your students? Why don't I give a music lesson? And the thing about Dr. Achyuta Samant is that he does not think anything in a small scale. Everything is very, very big. So we decided to do this for 14,000 students. And I did this music lesson for the kids where we taught them the basic rags and we taught them the basic scales of the Indian classical music. And we also taught them rhythms. And this particular lesson was overseen by the folks from the Guinness World Record. The guys from the UK, the Guinness World Record folks. They came down, they ascertained it, and they figured out that it is the largest music lesson in the history of the world. So till then, the record was held by a university in Tennessee, and the record was for 6,500 students. So we more than doubled the record. So it was pretty amazing, and we won that Guinness World Record. And that music lesson ended with us getting the students to sing the national anthem as a choir. It was an instrumental version of the national anthem, so they sang as a choir. And it sounded absolutely amazing. They sang in 4-part harmonies. So they sang as a choir. We converted their entire stadium at the Kalinga Institute of Social Sciences. We converted their entire stadium into a recording studio with over 200 microphones, with very sophisticated recording technology. And we recorded the 14,000 kids, at that particular session. And then, of course, the other aspect of this national anthem was the classical musicians, as I mentioned. Each of them brought their own unique talent to this. And for me, I've always had this motto in my life that I only collaborate with musicians, any musician that I collaborate with. So I only collaborate with musicians who are better than me, who are better musicians than me, simply because for me, each and every collaboration needs to be a learning experience. So every single musician that you see over here, whether it, of course, we can't do, no words can describe Pandit Hari Prasad Chaurasia. You have Rakesh Chaurasia, you have Aman and Ayan, you have Giridhar Udupa, you have the Nadaswaram players, Mr. and Mrs. Sheikh Mohammed, you have Rahul Sharma, and you have Jayanti Kubresh. Absolutely amazing musicians. And they basically lifted the arrangement, this particular version of the national anthem, to a completely higher level. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go ahead and play you our version of the national anthem, and then and then we can carry on from there. So if you would please indulge me, everybody will need to rise for the national anthem. Also, it is very important to note that this version of the national anthem is going to be releasing on the 14th of August at 5 p.m. That is the one day before the Independence Day, 14th of August at 5 p.m. So I will need as much support from all of you for this release. Now, as I had mentioned about the children, so you could see that the children, at the end of the video, they had also formed the Indian map, and they also formed the words Bharat in Hindi and in English. And I told you about the founder of the institute, Dr. Achyuta Samant. He's here with us, and he's going to be saying a few words. So please, a big round of applause to Dr. Achyuta Samant.
So good afternoon everyone present here, respected Idiki Keji and all the respected other persons associated with this program, respected press persons both from electronic print media and particularly officers from this great Hotel Leela Palace. So I am very much happy and honored in the midst of all of you. You have been hearing a lot from the Mr. Vicky Keji. He has told the entire things. We are very much happy that Kalinga Institute of Social Science is a home for 80,000 poor tribal children, 40,000 alumni, 40,000 in the campus. It is a school, it is a college, it is a university. fully free, fully residential. Ricky KG has been great well-wisher and friend of our entire activity, Kid Kids and myself also. So he has been visiting our place. I am very much thankful to him. This year he has chosen our children to make this record, National Anthem of India, with the entire instruments and the great personalities in music line you have seen. So I express my sincere thanks and gratitude to Ricky KG for giving such type of opportunity to our 40,000 children at KISS. And we have also made Guinness Book of World Record. It is the 5th time for KISS to get this Guinness Book of World Record. So definitely I hope it will be very good in the on the day, that is the 14th August at 5 p.m. when we will release to the entire globe. So I once again express my thanks to all the great personalities associated and also other persons those are associated with Ricky Cage. And I am myself very much happy that our KISS children, KISS has made many things great for entire India, many awards, many accolades, and particularly it is the biggest in the world that 40,000 children in one place, as rightly has told, fully free, fully residential. 65% of them are girls. So once again I wish this entire Ricky Gage program a grand success and will be definitely accepted by one and all after 14th August at 5 p.m. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. And now, as I told you, the release is on 14th August at 5 p.m. For our Independence Day, which, as we all know, is on the 15th of August. So we need a lot of support for that particular release. And the release is going to be made by this amazing record label, Universal India. Everybody's heard of Universal India. Everybody's heard of Universal Music. And Universal Music, one of the top labels in the world. In fact, the top label, right? Yeah. Universal Music is the top label in the world, and they're going to be releasing it internationally. So through their global footprint, they're going to ensure that this anthem gets heard everywhere. And the beauty of this is that Universal and me, we've been, I've sort of made my home Universal Music for the last couple of months, and you're going to be hearing a lot of announcements of work that we're going to be doing together in the coming weeks. But nevertheless, this particular anthem, I've not even signed a contract with them. That is the comfort level that we have, and that is how much of passion that Universal Music has for our Indian national anthem and for showcasing something for India. Also, this anthem is going to be completely non-commercial, so anybody can use the anthem for whatever purposes you want, without any need for royalty or whatever. Anybody can use it however you want, and it's basically a gift to the nation, and that's how Universal is going to be releasing it. So I think a big round of applause to Universal Music. And we have the MD of Universal Music over here, Shanajit. So Shanajit would like to say a few words. And the best part is that even he's from Odisha.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Like the first few words, like when Ricky had mentioned this album, like this particular thing, a few days back to us, and he said, "Would you be interested?" We said, "We'd be delighted, honored." This is a 3-time for us. I think we are the number one voice company, but first we keep artist front and center. This is something that he has made, the national anthem, in his unique perspective, using some of the biggest living legends of Indian classical music industry, and the 14,000 little kids that has come courtesy Dr. Samantha. I think, thank you for that. You are doing incredible stuff for the state and the people and the kids. And we take cognizance of the fact music is actually, it ensures that it brings people together. And this is a powerful testament to the power of music. And this particular creative output that Ricky Cage has made will ensure it pays homage to the spirit and diversity of our country. This particular unit is going to go live 5 o'clock on 14th of August. And I urge all of you to share, like, and spread this unique power of love. Thank you.
Now, that's all that we had for the presentation. So if anybody's got any questions, we'd be very glad to answer that.
Sir, how was your experience working with the legends? If you can share something about that also.
Sure. So basically, as I had mentioned, there was not much work that I had to do when I was working with the legends, and also I've always noticed this through my career in the music industry for the last my professional career in the music industry for the last 25 years now, that people who are legends and people who are extremely good at what they do not have an ego problem, because people say that how is it dealing with this artist, how is it dealing with that artist. So the thing is that none of these people had even the slightest hint of an ego problem or whatever. But anyway, for me, it's always been that whenever I go into a studio, I try not, especially when it is an artist of their caliber, I try not to go very planned into a studio. I go with the basic framework of what I want to achieve right at the end of it. And then what I do is that I let the musician perform and record in their own style, so that they take the they take the composition and they take the music to a whole new level, a level which I myself in my primitive brain cannot imagine. And that's exactly what happened over here when Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasia came in and he started playing the flute. There was no possible direction that I could give him because he had already exceeded my expectations of what this recording was going to sound like, and I already had very high expectations with him. It's the same with Rahul Sharma. When Rahul walked in, it's the first time I ever met him, first time I recorded with him, and same thing. He just set up his santoor, we set up the microphones, he started recording. And the first few notes itself, I realized that, wow, this is magic. This is pure magic. And, the more direction I give to these artists, with every direction I give these artists, the worse the track will become, So that is how it is, so basically I should just keep my mouth shut and let them do whatever they are doing and let me just capture everything. So my purpose is just to capture everything that they're doing and then later on post-produce it. That is what my job was to do with this thing.
Hello, yeah. Over here, sir.
Yeah.
First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
You made us proud by doing this, and again in a local world record.
Thank you.
So my question is, you played with all the legends. That was okay. I can say easy job for you. But what about the kids? 14,000 kids. How you did, and what things came in your life? What all things you have faced? Because they all are like students.
So the thing is that recording with the kids and getting the kids to sing whatever I needed them to sing, that was the very simple part. Because the kids are amazing, they're very, very disciplined, and they're very, very enthusiastic. So there was absolutely no problem. The problem was the planning, the logistics, setting up that stage. Because if you saw that image, we had like a cross-shaped stage. So because there were 14,000 of them. So how do I stay as close to as many of the kids at the same time as possible? So the way to do it was to build a stage which was in the shape of a cross, so I could walk in between the kids and and I could give them instruction and and I could be as close to them as possible. So that was one thing. Second thing is that it was raining on the day. So that was in the National Anthem video, and I'm going to play it back again. You'll notice that there were some raindrops in the video simply because it was raining on the day. But the kids, they were extremely enthusiastic and they just braved it through the rain and they recorded the National Anthem. And the thing about recording the National Anthem is that you cannot sit down in a relaxed manner and sing it and record. Every time you're recording the National Anthem, you have to be standing up straight, at attention. So if it was any other song, we could have just got the kids to sit down in a relaxed way and and sing it. But in this case, that was not the case. And the kids also did not want to be relaxed. They wanted to be standing at attention and as steadfast as possible, and it's a testimony to the education that is available in KISS, in Kalinga Institute of Social Sciences. The education is such high quality that the kids are so disciplined, they are so enthusiastic, and they want to give their best to everything that they possibly can do, and that's what I saw in over here. So so the logistical parts were the difficult things, and the planning and figuring out how we're going to do this, how we're going to do that, because nobody's ever recorded 14,000 people before. Nobody's ever done a singing lesson for 14,000 people before. People have only done less than half of that, or even much lesser than that. So all of this was completely new things that we had to figure out, and we had to figure out new methods of actually carrying this out, and that was the difficult part. But the kids were not at all difficult. That was the easiest part.
I want to talk about Samantha sir. So sir, want to know the collaboration with sir that you did it, and first of all, very great job you are doing that, Odisha, giving all the tribals all the education free of cost. So how came in your mind to support, or whatever you can say, collaboration?
You see,
So
I have already told that Mr. Ricky Keji is associated with our all works, activities, Kid Kiss, myself for the last so many years. He has already told he visits our place several times. So he has become a family member. And we all know, we all are great fan of Ricky Keji. The 3-time Grammy awardee, great celebrity, music composer, everything. So our children are very much enthusiastic and interested to participate in this program under his leadership. So that has happened. As he has already told, we have been 40,000 children. Really, they are just like diamond. They're very disciplined, very nice. They are getting decent life with quality education and everything in one place from standard 1 to doctoral program. That's why I told KISS is a school, college and university. So as children are very much interested and Rikki's leadership itself speaks a lot of things. As he has told already, I was there present, how it was raining, just drilling. So it was raining slightly, but children are very calm and quiet and disciplined. That's why it is possible. And KISS has got many good things. It is 5th time Guinness Book World Record and many good things, UN status, UNESCO International Literacy Prize, and now 15 students from both KIT and KISS participating in the Paris Olympic now going on. So we are too good in many aspects, which has attracted Ricky Cage to shoot this national anthem of India for this season with these children. Thank you.
Hi, Mayur here from Beyond Bollywood. Firstly, congratulations. Unfortunately, I couldn't come in time to watch the video, but I'll catch it on YouTube.
We are going to play it again. Right?
So I just had one question. Obviously, when you, any composer, any singer decides to do a rendition of the national anthem, are there kind of certain protocols laid out by the government which has to be followed? When you talk about that, and also, I don't know, when you do that, do you also encounter a certain bureaucracy?
So there are no guidelines laid down by the government, but the constitution says that the portion of the national anthem, starting from Jana Gana Mana till Jaya Hai, till the last Jaya Hai, it has to be 52 seconds. So that is something that is in the constitution. But it's not a hard and fast rule. You can interpret it in your own way. Like for example, there have been versions which have stretched it, made it longer, and and there are versions which are 1 minute and 20 seconds and 1 minute and 30 seconds. But the thing is that the constitution has mentioned 52 seconds for a reason. That when you are asking people to stand up, you cannot test people's patience. So the thing is that if you make it in 52 seconds, number one is that people will stand up for the right amount of time. Second thing is that the national anthem has to be of a certain speed to sound like an anthem. Because if you stretch it very long, then it becomes like a very emotional song or whatever. But if it's an anthem, it has to be of a certain speed. So if you do the whole thing in 52 seconds, then it will be of the correct speed where it sounds like an anthem. So that is something that I followed very strongly. Of course, there is an introduction to the anthem. Like right now, there's music, and you'll see it right now. That there's music as an intro, and it leads into the national anthem. So that is about 40-45 seconds. I've done that, and then the anthem. And the reason why I've put that introduction is that it sounds good to lead into the national anthem with some background music-ish kind of stuff, and at the same time, it gives people enough time to understand that the anthem is going to start, and it gives enough time for people to stand up. So that is the idea. But there are no hard and fast rules about it. But we, as citizens, it is our fundamental duties to respect the national anthem in the best possible way. So it is my duty that if I am making a version of the national anthem, I have to present that version and create that version with utmost respect to the national anthem, and to ensure that to ensure that it is loved by the country and it serves its purpose of bringing everybody together.
Just a second question. You are someone who's obviously based out of India, and I can't recall the exact time, but it reminded me like more than a decade ago where the government had stipulated of playing of national anthems in cinema halls. So back then, obviously, there was difference of opinion. And as someone obviously who's based outside of India and who experiences a different thing while entering a cinema hall in the US. So I just wanted your perspective on this whole thing.
I'm actually based in India. I'm based in Bangalore.
Okay.
So that's, of course, I travel a lot, but my home is Bangalore. And I always say this, that even though I travel a lot, my home has been Bangalore for the last, now, how many years? 38 years. So I've been educated in India, I've been educated in Bangalore, everything has been in Bangalore. And now that I travel around, people ask me that, are you based abroad? Then I'm like, no, my dogs are in my home in Bangalore, and you can travel with your family everywhere. But where your dogs are, that is where your home is, you know. So my dogs are in Bangalore, so that is my home. So anyway, but to answer your question, I'll answer it anyway. I feel that the national anthem in cinema is a good idea. Simply because I believe that, the national anthem, especially like all over the world, national anthems come with a certain degree of controversy. Some people say that, we like it. Some people say we don't like it. Some people say that, we should change the national anthem. Some countries barely have a national anthem. Some countries have national anthem in multiple languages and they're not sure which one's the official one. In India, the national anthem is a zero controversy piece of music, where as soon as you listen to the first few notes of the national anthem, you immediately are compelled to stand up, or that is, if you can physically stand up, you're compelled to stand up, and you're compelled to respect the national anthem. And not only that, it also evokes a sense of pride of our country and a pride of our belonging. So I believe that it's a very, very powerful tune, and it's good to be reminded of that. Especially if you're going to an entertainment venue, I think it's good to be reminded of that. And the best place to play the national anthem is a theatre, because if you're playing it, let's say on radio, you do not know how people are listening to it, because people could be listening to it in the car, and you can't stand up in a car, right? And people could be listening to it when they are in the shower, or people could be listening to it, while they're relaxing, or when they're extremely tired or whatever. But in a movie theatre, it is a captive audience. It is an audience which is, all of them are facing one particular screen. Everybody are assembled over there, and usually nobody is sleepy before the movie starts.
Yeah.
So basically, everything is absolutely apt for the playback of a national anthem, and the sound system is amazing. So you've got a great sound system, you've got a great screen, so everything is absolutely apt for you to play the national anthem, and it's the best place to inspire people to remember that they have a country to serve.
Just one last thing, all these years of my life, starting from school, we all have obviously, sung the national anthem. But I don't know how many of us have bothered really to check, the values behind it and the meaning. So do you think, is there a need, because the language is such which obviously we don't use in our day-to-day life now, and is there a need for us to understand each and every word behind the national
The very
anthem?
fact that I've created an instrumental version of our national anthem shows that, that you just need the feel of the national anthem. You actually don't need to go into every single nitty-gritty of every single word and all of that. Even though I think it adds a lot of value if you do that. I think it adds a lot of value if you know the meaning and if you get into the meaning of everything, which I have done. But the thing is that even if you do not, just the melody of it is good enough for you to evoke a sense of gratitude towards your country and a sense of duty towards your country.
Hi. Yeah, hi. Congratulations for this, first of all. This looks absolutely marvelous.
Thank you.
And my question to you is that this is so endearing and this is so nice to, firstly, I would like to tell everybody that, freedom did not come for free. So, and making such a beautiful radiation of national anthem, when did this idea come into your mind that I'll get all the legends all together and I'm going to have 14,000 kids singing it? When did this idea come into your head?
So
Because this is amazing.
I had mentioned to you earlier about the whole story about how it came across that, so I'll just repeat it in bullet points. So last year I'd done the orchestral version, and then this year I decided that, or after listening to that multiple times, that we have to get the Indian soul into it. So that is the reason why we got the best musicians in India to be a part of this. And then after that, inspired by the institute, because I visited the institute, that is Kalinga Institute of Social Sciences, so many times, that it just inspired me that I have to do something with the kids over here. I have to do a music class, and then, that has to culminate in them recording the national anthem. And that's how it was, so basically that. So it wasn't like a sudden aha moment where I thought we have to do all of this. It was a slow progression, and it was a slow evolution into becoming what it is right now.
Hi. Hello. My question is to you is कि ये डिजाइनिंग कैसे हुई कि ये ट्रैक जो रहेगा इसमें मुझे ये इंस्ट्रूमेंटलिस्ट चाहिए, because you have worked with all the living legends of Indian classical music, but उन legends को particular space देना और साथ ही साथ उन 14,000 बच्चों को भी space देना और 52 सेकंड में इसको wrap up भी करना.
Correct, that was a challenge for sure.
Yeah.
So, so now when it came to the legends, I'll start with that. All the legends played the whole song.
Okay.
So when I went to Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasa, he played the whole song. Same thing with Rakesh ji, same thing with Aman and Ayan ji, same thing with Jayanti ji. Everybody played the whole song. And then what happens is that I had to sit down in the studio. And of course the children, they are singing in the background throughout.
Okay, that you have recorded on that live performance only?
On the live, yeah. Whatever you see the visuals, that was the recording of it.
Okay.
So that was so children are singing throughout. That we recorded in the stadium. So that was not a challenge because they were singing throughout, and I had to score the parts. I had to figure out what notes they're going to be singing at what point in time. Now, when it came to the legendary musicians, so we had all of them record the whole anthem. Then I sat in my studio and I selected which parts are sounding good where, and just on the basis of the sound, I did that. But to answer your question properly, on the 20th or the 25th, what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be releasing videos, individual videos of each artist.
Okay.
So we're going to be releasing a video with Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasa playing the whole national anthem. Then we're going to be releasing a video of Aman and Ayan ji performing the whole national anthem. So each of these legends that you see, there's going to be a different version with each of them. So you'll be able to hear them rather than playing that one small part. You'll be hearing them playing the entire anthem.
Mr. Ricky, talking about legends, can we to your left, sir. Can we expect a hat-trick next year? More and more legends, Also, we can connect Bollywood or Hollywood because you are doing good things in abroad and now in India also. So, can we expect that kind of thing, especially for all the audience over here?
Like, what do you mean?
A collaboration with the legends. I mean, not just singers, musicians, but actors coming along. In the 90s, we used to see this thing on the TV. That everyone is coming together on the legend, then they are doing something.
Yeah. No, I guess it will have to evolve. That is the whole thing. Because right now it's difficult to answer that question. Like for example, Mile Sur Mera Tumhara. I grew up listening to that particular song, and that song every time it starts playing, I get very emotional when I watch it. But then in today's time, I mean, I may be saying something very controversial, but in today's time, do you think something like that will work? Because people just don't have any patience anymore. People want instant gratification. People want things to fit into a reel. And having a song which is about 8 or 9 minutes long. I'll give you an example. My assistant at my studio, I'm not going to name him, but a 23-year-old person. So I was giving him some references for music. And I told him that, you remember Mile Sur Mera Tumhara, and he had no idea what that song was. So the thing is that the younger generation is not sensitized to that music because they listen to a different kind of music and a different style of music. So I guess short form content is what people are consuming right now. So a song which is so long and and also the things that people are getting overly sensitized to. I mean, there's I would say over sensitization to certain things. Like for example, Mile Sur Mera Tumhara, in my opinion, is very representative. But what will happen in today's time is that somebody will get up and say that, oh, my region is not represented, or my language is not represented. Why do you have that language? So that's another problem today, that people will always find fault with something that has been created with the best of intentions. So that is why it's a very difficult question that you've asked me. So I'm just speaking my mind out right now, and I'm just trying to make sense of what I'm saying. But I'm saying that Mile Sur Mera Tumhara in today's time would be a very, very difficult thing to do.
Hello. So since this is an Guinness Book of World Record, already have done it. Will this song of yours, whatever piece of yours, will be played in government, channels and all? Because this is something to do with the reach which we are looking at, 140 crores of people. So how you're planning to reach those people?
So as of now, the idea is that we are giving it free for all. Nobody requires any permissions to use it at an event and all of that. So the previous version that I did last year, that is the orchestral version, a lot of schools and universities took it up across India. And they used to play it for their regular assemblies, and they used to play it for the regular events and things like that. And also since ours is the constitutional version of 52 seconds, so it works really well for us that that people will end up using the song. So I don't have an answer to your question, but I'm hoping that what you're asking happens. That as many people, we want to encourage as many people to use this version of the national anthem as their version of the national anthem. But more importantly, for the members of the press, if you can encourage everybody for their on Independence Day, everybody puts out a message for Happy Independence Day. So if they can use this video as their message for Happy Independence Day, we would be very grateful. So if we can encourage as many people, because anyway, it's coming out at 5 p.m. one day before Independence Day. So if you can encourage as many people to use this as their message for Independence Day on WhatsApp or on social media, on Twitter or on Instagram, then that would be great.
What next? What next?
No, just concentrating on this right now. Thank you so much. And lastly, I wanted to tell you, very, very important. Now you saw this version of the national anthem over here. Now we've got a virtual reality version of it, where you put on your goggles and and then you can get really close to Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasia when he's playing. You can there is a section in the middle, in the beginning, where you've got a note written by Sri Rabindranath Tagore, where you can go close to the note and you can see what are the instruments being used right at the end of it. You can touch the instrument, you can learn more about the instrument and things like that. It's a proper virtual reality thing. You can see the kids up close while they're singing the anthem. And that virtual reality experience is over here, right at the back. So we have the two gentlemen over there. You can just see them over there. They're waving their hands over there, the two of them. So basically go to them. They've got the Apple Vision Pro. They will put it onto your head, and it's about a 3-minute experience. You can experience that, and you can see a virtual reality version of this. So I would encourage everybody to go over there and spend a few minutes and just experience it in virtual reality. Thank you so much.